In 2026, humanity has never been more connected. Our phones wake us before sunrise. Our watches measure our sleep before we know how we feel. Our computers follow us into work, school, home, and sometimes bed. Messages arrive during breakfast. Emails appear during dinner. News updates interrupt quiet moments. Notifications never truly stop. For many people, the day begins with a screen and ends with a screen. Before their feet touch the floor, their minds are already processing headlines, reminders, tasks, conversations, and expectations. Millions wake up already tired, not because they have done too little, not because they lack ambition, but because their minds never had a real chance to rest. This is the story of digital burnout, a quiet crisis of modern life affecting students, professionals, parents, creators, entrepreneurs, and families across the world. It is not simply about using technology too much. It is about living in a world where technology is always asking for something: our time, our focus, our reactions, our attention. Slowly, often without noticing, many of us lose the feeling of being fully present in our own lives. Just 20 years ago, the boundary between work and home was easier to recognize. People left offices, classrooms, shops, and studios, and there was usually a pause before the next day began. There were walks without messages, meals without screens, waiting rooms without endless scrolling. Boredom was not always comfortable, but it gave the mind space to wander, imagine, and recover. Today, that space is harder to find. Work follows people through laptops and phones. School follows students through portals, group chats, and online assignments. Creators feel pressure to post, respond, measure, and perform. Parents juggle family life while answering messages that can arrive at any hour. Entrepreneurs carry entire businesses in their pockets. The modern world rewards availability. Being reachable can feel responsible. Responding quickly can feel necessary. Staying updated can feel like survival. But the human brain was not built to be constantly available. It was built for rhythms, focus and rest, effort and recovery, connection and solitude. Digital life often removes the recovery. Every empty moment becomes a place to check something. Every pause becomes an opportunity to scroll. Every silence becomes uncomfortable. Eventually, the mind begins to pay the price. Digital burnout rarely arrives suddenly. It often begins quietly. A person feels tired after a full night of sleep. They open a message and feel pressure. They sit down to focus, but their attention keeps slipping away. A simple task feels heavier than it should. They move between tabs, apps, and conversations, but never feel finished. Then comes the sense of being constantly behind. Behind on work, behind on replies, behind on news, behind on everyone else's life. The mind becomes crowded, with too much to process, remember, compare, and answer. Fatigue turns into irritability. Concentration becomes fragile. Creativity becomes harder to reach. Motivation fade. Even relaxing can feel difficult because the brain has been trained to expect stimulation. Some people feel anxious. Some feel numb. Some feel detached from the people around them. They may sit with family, but mentally be somewhere else. They may be with friends, but still check the world outside the room. Digital burnout is not caused by one single moment. It is often caused by thousands of tiny interruptions. A vibration, a red badge, a suggested video, a message, a headline, a reminder, a comment, a like. Each one seems minor. Together, they fragment the day. They pull the mind out of deep thought and into reaction. They make stillness feel unproductive. They teach the brain to scan instead of settle. Behind this is the attention economy. In the digital world, attention is valuable. Many platforms are built to keep people engaged as long as possible. The longer we stay, the more we see, click, react, and return. Recommendations learn what holds us. Feeds continue without a natural ending. Notifications bring us back when we try to leave. This does not mean technology is evil. Technology connects families across continents. It helps students learn, doctors communicate, businesses grow, artists create, and communities organize. It gives people access to knowledge, opportunity, and friendship. The problem is not technology itself. The problem is technology without boundaries. When tools meant to serve life begin to shape every hour of it, the cost of digital burnout extends far beyond productivity. It changes relationships. Families can spend an evening in the same room while everyone is somewhere else. Friends can meet for coffee while half their attention stays on a screen. A child can ask for attention while a parent tries to answer one more message. Conversations become shorter. Listening becomes thinner. Presence becomes rare. The body also feels the cost. Sleep suffers when screens and stress follow people into the night. Eyes strain, posture tightens, movement decreases. Stress accumulates. The day may be full of activity, but the person inside it feels drained. Many people are connected to the whole world, yet disconnected from themselves. They know what others are doing, but not what they need. They hear constant noise, but not their own thoughts. They respond to everything outside them, while their inner life becomes harder to reach. This is why so many people are beginning to search for something simple. Not more speed, not more content, not more information. Mental peace. The solution is not to abandon technology. For most people, that is not realistic, and it is not necessary. Technology is one of humanity's most powerful tools. The solution is to rebuild balance. Balance begins with awareness, noticing when a device is helping and when it is taking more than it gives, noticing which notifications are useful and which are only noise, noticing when scrolling is relaxation and when it has become escape. Small habits can create powerful change. Turn off notifications that do not need immediate attention. Create meals where devices are not invited. Protect the first minutes of the morning from instant input. Protect the last hour of the night from digital pressure. Take walks without a phone when it is safe. Schedule periods for deep focus, where one task receives full attention. Make room for silence, boredom, and conversations uninterrupted by a screen lighting up. These changes may sound small, but the mind recovers in small spaces. A quiet walk, a focused hour, a meal with eye contact, a night of better rest, a moment where nothing is asking to be clicked. Recovery is not laziness. Recovery is what allows clarity to return. It is what allows creativity, patience, memory, energy, and joy to return. The goal is not perfection. No one lives a perfectly balanced digital life all the time. The goal is intention, to use technology because it serves a purpose, not because it has become an automatic reflex. To choose connection without losing solitude, to stay informed without being overwhelmed, to work efficiently without being available every minute, to enjoy the digital world without forgetting the physical one. Digital burnout is not a personal failure. It is a challenge created by the pace and design of modern life. And like every challenge, it can be understood, managed, and changed. The future will bring more powerful technology, more intelligent systems, more immersive screens, and more ways to communicate, create, and consume. But the future does not have to mean more exhaustion. It can also mean more wisdom, more boundaries, and more human choice.